doesn't matter to me. We're one team, one group. So here we go, guys, at the top of your lungs. You guys ready? I'm a great salesperson.
I'm a great salesperson.
I'm the number one agent in my market.
I'm the number one agent in my market.
Homeowners love me.
Homeowners love me.
Homeowners hire me.
Homeowners hire me.
People want to buy their home with me.
People want to buy their home with me.
I get referrals every day.
I get referrals every day.
I'm a closing machine.
I'm a closing machine.
Let's go.
I am the best.
I am the best.
Let's go. All right, guys, clap it up. Get some energy. Get some energy. Get some energy. Get some energy. There we go. There we go. There we go. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, this is Sales and Marketing Mastery. Thank you guys for joining today's call. And we're going to start off by asking all of you a question. This is an open dialogue, open conversation. So first question I want to ask you, between marketing and sales, which of the two is more important? Now realize, listen to this. I didn't say, are they equal? I said, which one's more important? Is it the marketing aspect of your business, or is it the sales aspect of your business? Now, this question can be a little confusing. It's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? And that question was answered scientifically not too long ago. You'd be dumbfounded to know what the answer is on that one. But there's an answer to that question too. What's more important? Marketing or sales? Go ahead, open it up.
Marketing.
Marketing.
Sales, because you can spend all the money on marketing and never have a sale.
Ooh, come on. Who was that? Who said that? Who was that?
Me, Selena.
Okay, Selena, I love that. I love the passion. Okay, so let me go ahead and just break it down for you logically. I opened up a storefront. It's on a court. I opened up a storefront in a strip mall, and there's a bunch of other stores around it, Nordstrom, and XYZ, and all that kind of stuff. If no one knows my store exists and that my business exists, then there's no one for me to close, and there's no one for me to sell. So the correct answer is marketing, in my opinion, is much more important than sales is. Because this is why you have people when they open up their, I'll give you a prime example, iPhone 15. How many of you guys have been watching the marketing pieces around iPhone 15 recently come out? They're talking about how it's their first India-made iPhone, how they added an extra megapixel for you, that they went backwards on the battery, it's going to die sooner, and everyone's all excited about this new iPhone 15 that's getting ready to drop. Well, they are marketing it to you. Now, so marketing out of the two is more important. And then when they step in your sales store, the sales skills are important, which is why today we're going to be covering both marketing and sales. And for some of those who have not had the privilege of meeting personally, let me give you guys a little background about myself. My name is Gabe Mendez. I'm born and raised out of San Diego, California. I've now been in the real estate space for 10 years. For the first 2 years, I've spent in the administrative side, operations. So that was all contracts, transaction coordinating. I was an assistant to 2 top performing teams at the same time. I knew nothing about TC work, but I'm committed to excellence. And so when they gave me the opportunity and said, we're going to pay you $500 per file at the age of 24, I said, in addition to what I was doing with multi-level marketing, I said, count me in, I'm all in. I stayed up late. I woke up early. I read books. I read the contracts. I attended classes on my own. They never told me how to do anything like that. I just did it on my own because I was committed to excellence and I wanted to be the best. The first 2 years were transaction coordinating. I ended up taking a break for about 6 months during that 2 years. I went back and got a job with the Department of Corrections. No, I was not locked up behind bars. I was actually the guy that was processing them as they were coming in. And then after that, I decided, I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go back to just being, making my own earning, where I can bet on myself, where the amount of money that I earn in sales is directly correlated to the level of excellence and commitment that I have to the business. So I went back full-time sales, May of 2015. And since then, I've been full-time in sales. I'm now married. Been with my beautiful wife now for 8 years. We've been married now for just over a year and a half. We have 2 beautiful children. We have a daughter that's 10 years old. We have a son that is 5 years of age. And same exact thing with them. I love my wife because, number one, she's the greatest gift I've ever had. If it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't be here with you all today. And if you guys don't know who that is, it's Cherish. She hosted you on the call. But if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't do what we did with our sales team, with our Winner's Circle organization. If it wasn't for her, our children wouldn't be as excellent as they are. They say their affirmations every morning. They say their prayers every morning. They eat their egg whites and oatmeal and avocado every morning. And that's all thanks to my beautiful wife for having that level of standard in our household. So that's a little bit about myself. I went from Coldwell Banker to the Associates Brokerage to Century 21. And just 12 months ago, I moved over to this amazing company called EXP. The reason I did that is because I believe in collaboration over competition. I think competition is healthy, but at the end of the day, the rising tide lifts all ships. So let's collaborate and make that happen. I now run a sales organization where we operate in 4 different counties in Southern California, LA, Orange County, Riverside, and San Diego. We have had the privilege over the last 2 years consecutively to have 100 sides in sales. Now, 100 units, 100 sides, completely different the last 2 years. My first $1 million commission year was 2021, where I grossed 1.3. My take home was 900 and something. I bought a couple of properties. I ended up investing a ton into marketing and real estate. And since then, the number one thing that I've known in the last 10 years that I've been in real estate is that you must always have a coach. So I've had the privilege of coaching with some of the best people out there. I did Jordan Belfort's straight line persuasion. I did Grant Cardone's 10X program. I read almost every single one of the sun through Stephen Covey and Brian Tracy, Jim Rohn. Most recently, I was coached by David Kesey, also Coach Joe Velato. And right now I'm being coached by Coach Alfonso Delgadillo and the Core Coaching Program. So I'm always going to be coached. I don't believe in coaching. My boy Leo coaches me all the time as well. And that's a little bit about myself. Now let's talk about where we are today. Oh, and also Billy Jean is marketing, the best marketing company for coaching. Now I'm looking forward to this new summit that I'm coming up. That's coming up next month. Andy Elliott's Sales Summit happening in Arizona. If you guys don't know who that is, Google him right now. I just gave you guys a hint of who will be talking at the end of this talk. All right. So one thing that I learned through the entire process was marketing comes first and then it comes sales. I need people to walk in through my front door. So how do we do that? Now, there's a couple of key fundamentals that I want you guys to understand about marketing. Marketing, you have to be the loudest, you have to be the most consistent, and you have to be top of mind awareness all the time. I want you guys to write this stuff down. I see none of you writing it down except for 2 of you. So for all of you, I'm glad you guys are crushing it in sales, and you guys probably don't need to be here. But for the rest of you, if I were you, I'd be writing this down. Why do you write this down? Let me give you guys a little clue as to why we're writing it down. When you take pen to paper, there are 17 times more neural pathways that are created in the brain that help you retain the information that you're writing down. So in my opinion, you guys have heard me say this before, business is the ultimate sport. Let me say that again for all you competitors out there, all you fantasy football players. Business is the ultimate sport. And the way you keep track is your bank account, closings, units, money that you have, cash flow. And if it's up to me, I want the competitive advantage over my competition. So that means if I just by taking a piece of paper and a pen and writing it down, 17 times more neural pathways are created, I got to retain the information, I'm giving myself that unfair advantage. So do yourself a favor, write it down. And here we go. Guerrilla marketing. So the most fundamental thing you need about marketing is you need to be everywhere, all the time, at the same time. I'll say that again. I need all of you to be everywhere, all the time, at the same time. So what does that look like? That looks like every morning you should be posting Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, every social channel, TikTok that you have, because you need to be everywhere all the time at the same time. That's fundamental number one. You need to be top of mind awareness every time, all the time at the same time. Guerrilla marketing tactics. Same time. So now let me give you the second thing that you need to do. We're talking about real estate right now. If you have a budget for this, and if you don't, I'll give you guys some ways on how you can create a budget for it. If you have a budget for it, I need you all to choose a farm that you're going to be farming to. It should be a minimum of 300 homes that you have, minimum of 300. I recommend a townhome or a condominium development. That's what I recommend. Townhome condominium. Could someone ask me why I recommend a condominium townhome versus single family residence?
Why?
They're more likely to
Because
upgrade.
they're renting. They rent.
Yeah,
they
they're
don't own
gonna
it.
probably.
Boom. I know. I
Probably
recognize the voice. I
best
didn't see the face, but I recognize the voice. That was Catalina. She said it right. The truth is, if you go to a single family residence, maybe they rent out that home. Maybe they're happy where they're at. Maybe it's big enough or small enough, whatever that might be. Who really knows? But the point is, they may or may not sell. Someone who's at a townhome or a condominium, right? You own it. We're not talking about apartments. We're talking about condos and townhomes, something you own. That probably was a starter home for them. And it's probably not enough room for the family. So if you're going to knock on the door, you might as well go knock on the door that's going to give you the sale of the townhome and the purchase of the upgrade. And in addition to that, if you market the heck out of that home, you can secure a buyer for that own listing and double-ended. Whereas if you go to the single family home, there's a chance they might do it, but the chances are lower. I want to bet where the chances are higher. It's just like Vegas. If you have one table or one slot machine or one game that says it's a 50%, it's a 50-50 chance you're going to win every time you play, my money's going to that game versus the 25% every single time. And that's what knocking on townhomes and condos is all about. It's giving you that higher probability that you're going to sell something, and then you get 3 transactions out of 1. Let me give you an example here in San Diego. When I first got started in 2016, that was my breakout year. I did 14 or 16 transactions that year, all from door knocking, not family, not sphere of influence, not social media, 100% from door knocking. It was 2016. And I had the ability to list the townhome, help them purchase an $800,000 single family residence at that time. And then I double-ended one of those townhomes. That commission check went from the listing of a townhome at 4%, which was about $16,000 for that townhome, helping them buy the $18,000 commission single family home. Then I double-ended the townhome for the additional 2% more. That was $8,000. So that was 24 plus 18,000 right there. That's what, 40-something thousand dollars in commission for knocking on that one door, sending that $5 thank you Starbucks gift card, by dropping off a CMA report, by building rapport, things that we'll talk about on the sales aspect of it. So my recommendation to you is, for the marketing aspect of it, find a townhome or a condominium development. Make sure it must have 300 units minimum. Anything less than that, you're really just you're wasting a lot of time. Second thing that you want to do is you want to talk to your title team and ask them to find a development that has a high turnover rate. What has the highest turnover rate? Because if you're going to be investing money into this development, I want to make sure that you're able to sell something every 2 to 3 years. So now you have your guerrilla marketing on social media where you're all everywhere all the time at the same time. Then you're dropping off the mailers at your farm, you're mailing things at their farm, and then you're knocking on the door as needed, as often as needed. Let me give you an example. I'm talking about marketing right now so you can attract people into your business, so you can get leads right now, you can close deals right now. When you go knock on that door, you develop that relationship, and everyone knows you as the king or the queen of that development right there. You start picking up all the deals at that aspect through the door knocking. Here's a lot of wonderful things will happen, but here's how it starts. 1, it's the postcards. 2, it's door knocking. Well, Gabe, I don't have a listing there. What am I going to say? I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you that in a second. But you're going to be door knocking there every single time a home is listed active for sale. It's pending in contract. And then it just sells. You are going to physically knock on that door. Well, Gabe, what am I going to say? It's not my listing. Here we go. Here's what you're going to say. I want you to listen fast and write it down faster. Here we are. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. We're going to go knock, knock, knock on a listing that is not mine, that someone else listed from a different company. We're going to do that right now. Who wants to role play with me? You be the homeowner. I'll be the agent. Let's go. Live role play. Who's the homeowner? Come on. We have 71 sales agents on here. Not one of you is enthusiastic about jumping on board.
I'll do it.
All right, Leo raised his hand. I saw Leo first, so let's go on Leo.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Okay, Leo, you're at your house. You're cooking some carne asada, whatever. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon because I know you're going to be
Some
home. I'm
veggies,
knocking at
bro.
that
Some
time.
veggies.
Oh, that's right. You're vegan. My apologies. So, okay, here we go. Ready? So
Yes.
The first thing about door knocking that I want you all to know is that when you show up in door knocking, before knocking on your door, Neil, let me give everyone some context. I want every single one of you dressed professionally. Professionally. I know a lot of us get into the habit of wearing a polo, a t-shirt, and those kind of things, and that's good. It works, and that's okay. But I've never heard of anyone getting fired because they were dressed too professionally. Oh, Gabe, but they're going to think I'm a Jehovah's Witness. They're going to think I'm doing that. Well, don't wear a white shirt. Wear a different color. Put on a tie. Get a name badge that says real estate. But I want you dressed professionally. You always must be dressed professionally when you're in these sales interactions. For some reason, over the last couple of years, with this whole movement, people just think it's okay to show up in flip-flops and shorts. I'm sorry, it's just not the way that I operate. And you can ask my sales team. I expect them dressed up, even on these Zoom calls. So here we go. Number 1, I want you guys dressed up. Number 2, I want you guys to have a book in your hand so you guys can take notes with a pen. And then number 3, you're going to have your flyer. You're going to have your book so you can take notes. Gabe, that's ghetto. That's old school. No, it's called active listening, and it works. Here we go. All right. Leo, I'm knocking on your door. dressed professionally. Here we are.
Hello there. How can I help you?
Hey, good afternoon. I'm just stopping by to let you know that your neighbor just recently listed their home. Here's the flyer. It's a
Okay.
4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,500 square foot model, and they're listing the property for $750,000. Were you aware of the sale?
No, I mean, I saw the sign, but I didn't know that what the pricing was. I wasn't paying attention to it.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, I think my house is worth way more, but yeah.
Oh, really? Do you have the which model do you have?
I have the better model, the much better model.
You know, it's funny. Every single time I talk to one of your neighbors in the area, they tell me the exact same thing. Like, mine's better, mine's better, mine's better.
Yeah.
Which what square footage bedroom and bath do you have?
You know, I'm at 3,700 square feet. I got 5 bedrooms and 4.5 baths. So
4.5
pretty
bath.
large home. Yep.
No, so you actually do have the best model in the entire development. Wow.
Yay.
How long have you guys
I thought so, buddy. I thought so.
How long have you guys owned your home here?
You know, I've been here for about 9 years now.
9 years. Wow. Congratulations. So it sounds like you guys bought it at a good time.
Yeah, I did. I got it. I think 315,000 sort of paid for it. So
315,000. Wow. And I'm sure you guys locked in a good interest rate during that refinance boom, right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, under 4%.
I love that. Under 4%. And what made you guys want to move into this neighborhood specifically?
You know, we have one of the best schools here. So I like the school. That's one of the most important things. Like the gated community, safe, for the wife and the kids. And yeah, just like this neighborhood, I'm close to family.
At the neighborhood close to family, safe. Most of your neighbors that I'm having a conversation with, including the owner that's selling his home, said the exact same thing. They said, we're going to sell our home in this development, but we want to upgrade to a larger home in the same area because they love the schools, they love how safe it is, and everyone just seems to be a fan of it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's good. It's honestly, it's great that the prices are up, but I don't think I'm going to be making a move right now. It's just, I love my house.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there that love their home. And obviously with the changes in lifestyle, working at home and kids growing up and all that stuff, people typically need more space. But let me ask you a question. I know you guys aren't planning on moving anytime soon, but if you were to move, where would you guys move to next?
Great question. I think I would, I want to be close to the water. So I think that's where I'm going to be, closer to the water. Probably Newport Beach. I think that's the number one spot, or Laguna.
Newport, Laguna, somewhere close to the water. And if you were to move in the near future to Newport or Laguna, somewhere near the water, would it be for an upgrade to a larger home? Would you be downsizing to a smaller one?
It would be a smaller house. Yeah, smaller house for sure.
What would be the bare minimum requirements you would need for the smaller home, bedroom, bath, and square footage?
I think 2,200 square feet would be bare minimum, because I want a smaller home, but I don't want to be too cramped up. So obviously that'd be the bare minimum. So I think the sweet spot would be about 2,800 to 32.
Got it. About 2,800. Perfect. Got that there.
But if we have a beautiful view, I'm willing to go, lower to 2,200.
So it sounds like this home right here that you move to next will probably be the place where you end up staying for a really long time. Is that right?
Yep. Sounds about right.
Got it. And you know what? I'm so sorry. I completely forgot to get your name. My name is Gabe. What's your name?
My name is Leo, actually.
Leo, man, it's a pleasure to meet you today.
Pleasure to meet you as well. Thank you,
Leo,
sir.
let me ask,
I appreciate you.
Leo, yeah, of course. Thank you. Leo, let me ask you a question. If we can help you sell your home for top dollar, just like we're doing for your neighbor, and then help you find a waterfront home with a beautiful view, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square foot model, and get a really good deal on it, would you guys consider that move sooner rather than later?
If you find something like that, man, I mean, I'm open, right? So if that's the difficult part. I've been keeping my eye on everything, and I don't really see a lot of properties that really fit my criteria. But yeah, man, if you were able to find me something, I mean, let's do something sooner. I don't have to wait. I was thinking of doing it in the next 5 to 10 years, but if I could find something like that ideal property and I can upgrade, yeah, why not?
Wonderful. I'm going to give you a secret, Leo. Just do me a favor. Don't tell any of my competitors. There's
Okay.
something that we do here out in this marketplace that no one else does. And I'll give you an idea of what that is. There's a lot of homeowners who wanted to sell their property 2 years ago, 3 years ago, last year, that are waterfront, Laguna, and Newport, that didn't get a chance to sell it for one reason or another. So their listing ended up canceling or expired. So if this works out between you and I, you end up hiring us to sell your home, then what I'll do is I'll go knock on those doors. I'll go introduce myself to those homeowners. I'll take your pre-approval letter with the address to your home and say, I have a fully pre-approved buyer willing to make a purchase on your home, and I'm going to do it at a fraction of the cost for the discount just to put the paperwork together. This way I can help you sell this home, help you purchase the next home, and everyone wins. Does that sound good?
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. I mean, and that's the risk though. You know, I don't think I'll ever put my house on the market if I can't find what I'm looking for first, right? Because I don't want to be homeless for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's things in the contract called contingencies where we can help you out to protect the sale and protect your purchase. So if anything were to happen during the sale of a home, if the buyer who's purchasing your home decides to back out, you're not legally obligated to sell this one or purchase the next. That's what the contingencies are all about. And if the homeowner on the property that we're going to help you buy in Newport by the water cancels, you're not committed to selling this home either. So both transactions will have a contingency in place. You'll be legally protected. And if at the end of the day, nothing works out, no fees get paid out of pocket by you. All the risk is on us. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that sounds pretty fair. Yeah, definitely have to, you sound really great, Gabe. I mean, I just definitely, obviously we're talking here for the, I was not expecting this conversation. I definitely got to talk to the wife about this whole thing, and make sure that she's on board. But we've been talking back and forth about it. So
yeah, absolutely, man. And I can respect that. Happy wives equal happy lives. And I absolutely want you to have a conversation with her. So what I'm going to do is I'll prepare more information so that we actually have something to discuss. I'll give you all the facts, all the numbers. Let's go ahead and do this, Leo. What's your phone number? 949?
Yeah, it's 949-795 6568.
6568. And Leo, just so I can prepare accurate figures for us, what's your current loan balance?
It's 150,000.
150,000. Perfect. We got that there. And are you and your wife typically available at this time? Late afternoons after work?
Later in the evening, probably be the best time. Yeah, because she's always shopping. So
okay. Well, that's all right, man. We'll keep her happy shopping at Home Goods for the other home that you guys get. Leo, last question for you. Looking at my calendar right now, and does Friday at 6 p.m. work for you for me to stop by for about half hour to go over all the numbers?
That should work. I just need to confirm. So, just definitely let's do a tentative at 6. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I won't use my pen. I'll use a pencil just in case it has to change. I'll erase it out of the calendar and we'll have to book something else. But if it works, I'll meet you on Friday at 6. Sound good?
Pencil me in, sir. Let's do it.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Good to meet you, Leo. You'll hear from my office tomorrow morning, and I look forward to meeting you guys Friday at 6.
All right. Sounds great. Sounds
perfect.
Fantastic.
Boom. Wrap it up right there. Okay. So that's the conversation that I want you guys to have when you're knocking at someone's door. It sounds very simple. That exact conversation will be the same if it's coming soon, just listed, in escrow, just sold. It's going to sound something like this. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, homeowner, good to meet you. I'm just stopping by to let you know that your neighbor just got their home in a contract. Were you aware of the sale? I'm just stopping by to let you know that your neighbor is coming soon for sale. Were you aware of the sale? I just want to let you know that your neighbor just sold their home, and were you aware of the sale? It doesn't matter to me what stage it's in, because that property is only a reason for me to have a conversation. And then and it's something that's important to them. They don't care about what's happening outside of their development. They want to know what's happening right here, because that directly impacts their equity, which is why I don't talk about anything else. And then we ask those series of questions in that fashion so that we can get to the answer that we want. And as we identified here, Leo had already been talking to his wife. He had already been having a conversation, but I didn't want to be too salesy and push him. So I just let him lead the conversation with his ideas, and I expanded on his ideas. And I just ended up booking the appointment that was natural. Does anyone have any thoughts on that or questions before we move on?
I'll just say something, Gabe. So basically from my experience, right, if I'm the client, it was really easy for me to give you the information because you were leading the conversation, right? So I think that's a golden nugget for everybody to really get. You got to lead the conversation. That's what he was doing very effectively. No matter what I said, he kept moving forward. And then he also used his magical notebook, kept looking down, right? You guys saw that, how he kept looking down, right? So it didn't even give me the opportunity to say something else. I'm like, okay, this guy's like really listening to me. Like, damn it, I can't even say anything else. So the other thing is that he also embedded commands in there. When you hire us, I don't know if you guys heard that. When you hire us, like he was already saying, when you hire us. So you guys got to use language like that. And the other thing is, he basically is assuming the close already. He's assuming that we're going to work together, and he's already speaking that into existence. So I already feel like, okay, cool, I'm going to work with this guy. Like, he's on it. He's sharp. He's asking me all the right questions. He's listening. Those are the things that you guys need to do at a really high level. So that's just my feedback on, yeah. Great job.
Love that, Leo. Thank you for the feedback on that, man. That was good sales feedback. Who else has any questions or thoughts on that before we move on to the next topic? Open mic, go ahead. And Cherish, if you can monitor the chat just in case we have any questions and letting everyone in.
Do you have a preference? I know you said you go with pad and paper. Do you have a preference if it's pad and paper, if we use notes on our phone?
Always pen and paper.
Okay.
Always pen and paper. No cell phones there. I know a lot of us want to be techie and say, oh, but I have my CRM app that allows me to put their information right then and there. Do that stuff afterwards. Could you imagine right now if I'm having a conversation with all of you and I really am working, I'm really looking at my notes and I'm like this while I'm talking to you guys? What does it look like I'm doing? Or how can that be interpreted? Someone, go ahead.
You're scrolling in IG, homie. What's going on?
Does it look like does it seem to you? Do you feel like I'm actively listening?
No.
Do you feel like I'm actively engaged? Not at all. It feels disingenuous. It feels like, bro, you just came and knocked on my door and you have the audacity to have your cell phone in front of me. This right here, there's nothing else I can be doing except looking at you and taking notes from you. Mr. Casas, go ahead, man. I see your hand up. Thank you for raising your hand.
Oh, yeah. So I know the role play went pretty smooth and you were leading the conversation. I'm going to be the devil's advocate here because I've been trying to do door knocking, which I'm not good at, I think. And I'm getting a lot of resistance from even my neighbors. Like they just don't want to talk to you. And so I mean, I guess so I've been yelled out to even get out of the property, like their property, with the rings and the cameras that everyone has, that they don't even have to you don't even have to knock by the time they're already talking to you. How do you deal with that? Like, because I mean, yeah, in a perfect scenario, what you did was amazing, but what if they want to talk to you and they say like, the first thing that you get is like, get out of my property?
Yeah. So, I'm going to answer the question like this. People reject people or turn people away that they feel something negative about. They feel something negative about. They reject and turn you away. They wouldn't do that to their best friend. They wouldn't do that to a family member. They wouldn't do that to someone that they know, like, and trust. So what is it about the presentation? What is it about the way that you start speaking? What is it about the way that you're dressed? What is it about the things that you're holding that screams to them, scream at me? And it's a rhetorical question. I don't want you to answer it right now, but what I want all of you to start doing, if you notice that you're knocking on doors and people are screaming and yelling at you, I want you to self-reflect and be like, what is it about me, my presentation, that's forcing these people to do it? Now, there's some obvious answers. Maybe they stubbed their toe. Maybe it's a bad day. Maybe they just got fired. But if you're noticing that a majority of your conversations, or even half the conversations, are going in that direction, it's not a them thing. It's a something internal thing. And this is what we have to identify what that is. I'll give you an example. One of my agents on my team, Juan Escorsi, might be on the call. New agent, been with me now for 90 days. We went out door knocking together. Not one person yelled at us the entire time. And we were out there for 2 hours, knocking on doors in the hot sun, fully dressed, button-up shirts, ties, jackets, the whole thing. Knocking on doors, not one person yelled. And same thing with my other agent, Stephanie. She's on the call too. Stephanie knocks on doors all the time. She might get someone who's angry here and there, but almost never yells. And that's because there are techniques on the way that you dress, the way that you approach people, the way you walk, the way that your presence is, that will get them to be very happy to talk to you or not very happy to talk to you. One of the biggest things that we can do in sales is smile. We can smile with our eyes and we can smile with our lips. This is me smiling with my eyes. This is me smiling with my mouth. And when I'm walking up to someone's door, I'm dressed apart. I look clean. I look professional. I look presentable. I don't look like a thirsty, dirty agent who just rolled out of bed and just putting a half-a effort into it. I look like I'm enthusiastic and I'm ready to go there and I'm excited to walk up and I'm smiling and I'm looking at you the entire time. Like, Mario, let's do this. Let's get this going, man. And that's the approach. So we have to identify dress, walk, what you're carrying, how you're looking during the appearance of the entire time. Those are things that we have to identify that are going to help improve that. This is why Bloomingdale's, Nordstrom, some of the top elite stores in the nation have their staff dress a certain way. This is why they have them do their hair a certain way. If you go to MAC Makeup, they have their makeup done, their hair done, their outfits done. You must be presentable because they have a standard, because we all know that the way that you dress will positively or negatively impact your prospect's mind. Car sales must be dressed professionally. Look at all the luxury agents around the world. Josh Altman, Ryan Serhant, some of the biggest names in the business. Do you see them dressed down or dressed up? Dressed up all the time. There's a reason for that. So we have to first identify what's happening. We can get those things out of the way. And then number two is the approach once you get them on the thing. How many of you, let me ask you a question for those who do door knocking. What's the first question that you ask when you knock on their door and they answer it? No one from my team, and no one that I've coached before, someone else. What's the first question you ask when you knock on the door?
Is the homeowner here?
Okay.
How are you
Thank
doing?
you. How are you doing? Is the homeowner here? Thank you. What else?
But I will check. I mean, based on what you said, I will check in with them first. Like, how are you? Something like that. I wouldn't want to go jump into sales right away.
I love it. Okay, let me ask you a question. Now, I thank you guys all for answering that question. Let me ask you all another question. I want you guys all to be extremely honest. How many of you, maybe per day, per week, are getting phone calls from title, loan officers, marketing agencies, people who say, can you handle, if I were to refer you 5 more deals, can you take those today? How many of us are getting phone calls from telemarketers selling you a service or a product? How many of you is that happening to today? I literally just got 2 of them this morning trying to sign me up for a selling agency. Hands up or drop it in the chat. You can just put your hand up in the chat if you can, or drop it in the group, the chat, say me, I see hands up. And let me ask all of you a question. Me, Ivan says me, Amanda says me, William says every day, me, closers team, me, Jose, me, Ricardo, me. Wonderful. Let me ask all of you a question. When someone calls you or texts you and they say, hi, is this William? Yeah, this is William. How are you today? And you're like, good. And then they ask you, hey, listen, I'm with the marketing agency and I can get you 5 more deals. How many of you instantly go from whatever state you're in to extremely annoyed? Come on, be honest. Be honest. Let's be honest. Hands up. Yep. Ivan says, yep. LOL. Who else? Just Ivan. Just Ivan and me and Leo. Jessica says me. Maria says me. Leo says me. Catalina says me. My boy William says I hang up. I love that. Immediately I get annoyed. Okay. When you knock on your client's door, your prospect's door, and the first question out of your mouth is the homeowner there? Is no different than if a telemarketer were to call you right now and say, hi, is this Amanda? You would just go, oh, you called my phone, bro. Of course it's Amanda. What do you want? But then you don't know if it's a prospect or not. So then you say, yeah, it is. It's me, Amanda. And they go, hi, Amanda. My name is Gabe from 123 Agency. We're looking here because we want to help you with your Instagram, Facebook, get you 5 more seller leads. Boom, you go super upset. Or even worse, if I say this, hey, Jessica, is this Jessica? Yeah, it's Jessica. Hey, Jessica, it's Gabe Mendez over here. How are you today? Oh, boy. One of the most, come on. Do you guys like a random person that you've never spoken to, who randomly called you in the middle of the day to ask you how you're doing? Be honest. Come on. Drop it in the chat. Do you guys want someone you've never met before, who already asked you, this is you? Sounds like a salesperson ask you, how are you today? Yes. Heck no. No. So one of the sales tips I'm going to give all of you today, I want every single one of you to no longer use the question, how are you doing today? Get rid of that in your vocabulary. I never want you asking that in sales ever again. Never. I don't care if it's a client of yours. I don't care if it's a brand new prospect. I don't care. Never ask in a sales scenario, how are you? Instead, I want you to ask this question. How's it going? And I want you asking how's it going for two reasons. Number one, when you ask someone how's it going, it's open-ended, and they're going to answer it based on however they're feeling. They're going to say, oh, it's going good. Oh my gosh, it's going so great. I just got done with the hike. It's open-ended. They can take it in whatever direction they want to go. So now, two things are going to happen. Number one, you're going to be able to identify the personality type, who they are. So when you say, how's it going? They might say, good, like William, who might hang up on you. That's a high D. You better not waste his time. Or they might say something like, it's going so good. Oh my gosh, I just got done with the hike. Thanks for calling me. High I, someone who wants to be in conversation and relationship with you, very emotional. So number one, it's going to help you identify the personality type. Number two, it's going to help you identify their mood. And if they're not in a good mood, in a bad mood, whatever that might be, I want you to quickly adjust and get to the point. So how's it going? But when you're door knocking, you don't even answer, you don't even ask a question. You don't introduce yourself. You just say, hi, I'm just stopping by to let you know that this. You have 3 seconds to get to the point. There's a video that I shared on my Instagram about some guy who went door knocking. I offered him a free coaching session. He was selling window washing services. And he knocked on the door and he asked the homeowner, hey, how are you today? He's like, good. He's like, I don't know if you know who I am. He's like, I don't know if you've seen me around the streets here. He's like, no, I've never seen you before, man. What do you want? He's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, it's been a handsome guys and some pretty girls we've been walking around. He's like, what do you want, man? He's like, well, I don't know if you know the neighbor in the area. I don't know if you know the neighbor in the area down the street. She's a real estate agent. Well, we just left her house. He's like, okay. He's already 30 seconds into the conversation and he pissed off this homeowner by not getting straight to the point. And then he tells the homeowner, come over here, look at the windows over here. And then he says, I'm going to give you a free quote. I'm just going to walk around. The guy's like, nah, man, I'm in construction. Get out of here. I'm just going to send my monkeys to do it. He's like, no one wants to talk to any salesperson until a good looking guy comes to the door. Literally said that to the homeowner, until a good looking guy comes to the homeowner, slams the door, loses the deal. My point to you is get to the point in sales. Some fundamentals. Shoot, it is 10:47. Wow, we went really fast. Okay, I have 2 pages of notes to get through. And I'm gonna go really quickly. Jessica, go ahead, drop your question. Jessica, you have your hand raised. Is that on accident?
Sorry, yes, I meant to put me when you had answered the question earlier, not raise my hand. It was an accident. Sorry.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So back to go ahead. Anyone else have a question? Go ahead.
I have a question in the chat from earlier.
Yes.
It says, what time of the day would you recommend door knocking?
I recommend door knock in the afternoon between the hours of 4, 6:30, 4 to 7, those hours. The reason is everyone's on the way home from work. You want to capture, you want to speak to them right when they get home and before they have dinner with their family. That's the sweet spot you want to speak to them. Good question. All right, back to the marketing aspect. Number one, I want you guys to market everywhere all the time at the same time. I want you guys to be very loud about your marketing. Listen to me. You're gonna have a lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. You're posting so many times per day. I lost a lot of followers and I lost a lot of friends because I posted too much. I had a lot of people talking crap about me because I posted too much. Man, who do you think you are doing the floss video? Who do you think you are doing these kind of videos? I didn't care because I needed to get my message out there. In marketing, your prospect has this much room for one more person in the same category. Us as human beings, we can't remember more than 2 to 3 brands per category. I'll give you a prime example. Can someone please unmute themselves right now and answer this question? How many brands of tissue paper can you name right now? Go.
Carmine.
1,
2.
Charmin, Soft.
Oh, yeah.
Kleenex.
Look at that. Look at that. No. Pause.
Kleenex.
Do you see that? Did everyone see that? Everyone's like, Charmaine, Soft, and then pause for a second. 2. 90% of your consumers cannot remember more than 2 brands in the same category. And those brands, once your consumer has something locked in, it is almost impossible to take them off of their brand over here. It is almost impossible to take someone from Apple to Android or from Android to Apple because they already have their brand. So when you're talking about real estate marketing and you want to break into the luxury market, you want to break in as a brand new agent, or maybe you just want to resurface yourself as a brand new agent, you must go hard. You have to post so much all the time at the same time on every platform. Back to the marketing aspect, social media. You're in front of your prospect on social media, postcards, door knocking, and then you're hosting open houses and all that there. And then lastly, third is your round robin. You're calling them all the time on the phone. What does that look like if you want to pick up listings? Well, check this out. If I wake up at 7 a.m. and boom, there's a post from Stephanie. Boom, there's a post from Bernadette. Boom, there's a post from Ivan. And then I go check my mail. Oh my gosh, there's another postcard from Ivan. And then 7 o'clock in the afternoon, I get a knock and it's from Ivan. I can't get rid of Ivan. Ivan is everywhere all the time at the same time. And the only thing that I know is I associate Ivan, who is a highly trained salesperson, who knows how to dress and how to speak, highly trained salesperson right in front of me all the time at the same time. And if he's consistent with that for 6 to 8 weeks, I now associate Ivan's name, Leo's name, Bernadette's name with the leading salesperson in that area regarding real estate. That is how you break into the market when it comes to marketing. Now, any questions on marketing before I spend the last 4 minutes of our talk on sales? Any questions on marketing? Open them up quickly. 3, 2, 1. Forever hold your peace. That's your guerrilla marketing method right there. Let's talk about sales. Let's talk about sales and objections. Sales and objections. All right. In sales, a couple of key factors I need you guys to know. Number one, I need you guys all to be overly energetic. Overly energetic. You have to be excited about what you do all the time. Now, that doesn't mean being obnoxious. I don't mean like, hi, good to meet you, Mr. Homeowner. Welcome to my open. Look at these beautiful ceilings. I'm not talking about obnoxious here. I'm talking about having high energy that shows your consumer that you're excited about what you're doing. If you walk in there, hi, welcome to this 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, da 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 da. Well, Gabe, I don't want to be overly excited with a high D personality. Good. Don't be. Be enthusiastic with a high D. What's going on, man? Nice to meet you. I'm Gabe Mendez. Pleasure to meet you. Welcome on in. How's it going today? Perfect. What did you see online that you liked that wanted you to check out this home? Oh, I saw the backyard. Perfect. Let's go start the tour in the backyard. I'm enthusiastic. I'm engaged. So in sales, I want you guys to be overly enthusiastic. Number two, I want you guys to always wear a smile with your eyes or with your mouth, just like this. Number three, I want you to know all the data about whatever product you're selling. So if it's a home in waterfront, if it's a condo, I want you to know everything about that product before you go knock on that door, host the open house, or go to the listing presentation. If the homeowner has to tell you that their association dues are $500 a month and you didn't know that, you are no longer the expert in that field. I want you to know all the data about the product that you're selling, AKA I want you to be the expert. So smile all the time, be enthusiastic, know all the data. Number four, I want you guys to dress professionally. Dress professionally. Women, do your hair. No more of this little ball and chain stuff at the top, going out there knocking, girls, hot today. No more flip-flops. Boys, no more shorts, sandals with socks. I know you guys like wearing sandals with socks. I do it too, but not during door knocking, not during open houses. Open houses. If you want to wear jeans, that's your brand, do it. I know that works for some people, but not the way that I want you to portray yourself as a brand new agent or someone trying to rebrand themselves. I want you guys dressed up, button-up shirt. It doesn't always have to be a tie, but look at this. It's just a button-up shirt and a blazer. That's all it is. I got a haircut last week, put some gel in my hair, and that's it. Presentable. It's 120 degrees here in Arizona. Well, then, yeah, no one's going to be door knocking 120 degrees, but you're in an open house. You better blast that AC and you better look professional. I'll tell you what, if I saw an agent, a real estate agent in Arizona hosting an open house, and it's 120 degrees outside, and I saw him dressed up, and I walked into that open house, you ask my wife, Cherish, on the call right now, she will tell you, me out of everyone else in this world, I respect a highly trained salesperson. I will stay on the phone with a telemarketer if he approached me the right way and knows what he's talking about, just to give him the respect of delivering his pitch. And if I walk in an open house and I know it's 120 degrees out there and you approach me with the way I'm teaching you to approach me with a big smile on your face, dressed professionally, you know all the facts and data. Hey, welcome to the open house. What brought you in today? The backyard. Let's go start the tour over there. Wonderful. So it sounds you're looking and you're actively listening with a notepad and pen and you're taking my notes. By the time I'm done with that open house, everyone else told me I'll send you a home via the MLS. Everyone said, oh, I don't know the answer. I'll get back to you on that. But you were the only one that were dressed up in this absurd amount of heat that we have, and you knew everything, and you were smiling, and you made me feel happy and welcome, I'm calling you. I'm giving you my number. You will never get fired for being too professional. You might lose a couple of deals here for being the opposite. So I want you guys to dress. I want you guys to be an expert in your field. I want you guys to be enthusiastic about it. Let's talk about the framework that's sales. Fundamentals of sales. I ran over time, so I apologize. We'll have to do a part 2 of this. Cherish, can we do a part 2? Do you guys want a part 2? Can we do a part 2 of this? Is everyone okay with the part 2? Because I don't want to just zoom through all of it. We only had enough time for marketing today.
Yes.
So I think we're gonna do a part 2. Can you guys drop it in the chat? Is everyone okay with the part 2? Let me know. Part 2. Yes. Me fired for being too professional. I love that. Yes. Only 7 people out of 70 something. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, we got, all right. Everyone's awake. I love it. Okay. So Cherish, I'm going to stop right here. No more sales talk. We're going to have a part 2 to talk about sales mastery. We only got into marketing mastery, kind of scratched the surface. So with that, I'm going to leave it open for 1 more minute for questions. We're going to schedule a part 2, and let's get your questions out right now. And then I'm going to turn the mic over to one of my friends. Questions. Let's go. Questions. Marketing or selling questions. Go ahead. Not all at once.
Hey.
Hi.
So I don't have a question, but I was just gonna comment on the 120 degrees out. Last year I was door knocking here in Fontana, and it was like 104 degrees. And I was sweat, it was hot. So I door knocked this door, and I just left the flyer because I heard the dogs barking. But I was walking down the street. The homeowner came to find me in his truck, and he ended up giving me his mom's listing, and he admired the fact that I was door knocking in such hot weather. So I ended up double ending that listing as well. So it works. No one else is going to be doing it.
Yo, team, I need everyone to open up their camera, give her a round of applause right now. Let's do it together. Let's encourage her. She just shared a victory. This is our community. Let's cheer our sister on. Tell her good job. She did an amazing job with that. Super proud of you. Thank you for sharing that testimony. You'll never get fired for being dressed too professionally, but you will lose on opportunities for not. That's amazing. Congratulations on that listing. Congratulations on double ending it. And congratulations for going down door knocking, dressed professionally in that heat.
And another thing, real quickly on door knocking, I door knock a lot. And I do get people they'll close their door and they'll be like, I'm never selling my home. There was this other lady in particular. She said, I'm never leaving this house. I'm not going to sell it. I was persistent. I listened to her. She told me her birthday was coming. I dropped off flowers. I was just consistent with her. I ended up listing her home as well. So it's just like, yeah, you're going to get a lot of no's, but just stay consistent.
I love it. Thank you for that. All right. I want 2 people. Open up the mic. I want you to share your biggest takeaways from today's call. 2 people. Open up the mic. Someone go first. Go ahead. Biggest takeaway from today's call.
Honestly, your energy. The information is great. Don't get me wrong, but your energy is amazing.
Who was that? Sorry, I didn't see your face.
Casas.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
I agree with the energy. Like, it makes me feel more confident when I see someone else is confident like that. It makes me want to go and actually get knowledge and be more the expert, like you said.
I love it. Super grateful for that. Thank you guys for sharing that stuff right there. A couple closing thoughts before I bring on my friend. Listen, I want all of you to stay on the call. Let's give this man some respect. I brought in a guest closer for us. He's going to share a couple of ideas for the last few minutes. But a couple things. Look, you guys are all part of the winner's circle. Make sure you guys are joining the calls every single Wednesday, Monday, Friday. We're going to be starting a new training session every Friday for brand new agents. It's a 12-week program. Also, check the Slack channel. We have all of our previous trainings on there. Hosting open houses, how to handle objections. Everything's on that channel. And if you feel like you need a little more training, a little more hand-holding, a little more one-on-one, then I encourage you guys all go to Instagram, click on A Better Me. A Better Me. That's my coaching program. I'm coaching people on sales and marketing. I have a couple of clients right now that are absolutely crushing it on social media. One just got her first listing, closed her deal in 60 days from the videos that we're teaching them. So if you need help with sales and marketing and you want your hand held, go to A Better Me, send me a direct message. Let's talk about working one-on-one or in a group setting. All right, with that said, I want to go ahead and turn it over to my boy, Mr. Jonathan Roberts. You guys, Andy Elliott is one of the biggest salespeople right now in the car sales space who's crushing it across the country. This guy's hosting an event with Wes Watson and Brad Lee next month. I sent him a text and he's like, hey, brother, connect my boy Jonathan. He'll get you set up. I just got registered, bought my ticket. Mr. Jonathan, what thoughts, some sales tips, and let's talk about that event.
All right, let's go. So first of all, Gabe, I want to say thank you for inviting me on this call. For you guys that don't know, and he just gave you a little bit of our relationship, I spoke with Gabe an hour ago for the first time on the phone. We've had a 3-minute conversation. But after this, man, I just want to say thank you, truly. I mean, I've got a whole page of notes for what you just brought out that I'm going to put in my game. And I love where you started off. You started to talk about coaching. You started to talk about finding someone who's been where you want to be and implementing what they are. Jordan Belfort, Grant Cardone, Billy Jean. I'm studying the crap out of his AI stuff right now, and it's freaking on fire. But that's what it is. And that's what real estate and that's what sales is. And then you went right into marketing and how to master a stranger. Mastering a stranger is what you have to do to be successful in any sort of sales industry. If I don't like you, I'll never be your friend. If we're not friends, I'm never going to trust you. And if I don't trust you, I won't buy from you. I've been talked out of buying stuff. I'm the easiest sell. You get me hyped up. You tell me I look good in that. I'm freaking awesome. I'm like, yeah, write a check. But I've had amateurs talk me out. And that's the problem with salespeople lately is there's too many amateurs. There's too many amateurs in the industry. The last 3 years, I don't care if you were selling houses, mortgages, cars, solar, the government was just giving people free money left and right. And when you have free money, you got to spend it on something. So people were just saying yes to everything. And so many people got into the industry